They hear us in the countdown, I know.
Magnussen has made up places at the start, but here comes Sebastian Vettel!
Hello everyone and welcome to round 3 of Tier 2 in FCR Racing. We're here at Monza today and I'm here with Master Trike, who is testing out to be a new commentator, so just say hello.
Hello there.
So, we're just loading into the lobby now, and I'm going to quickly just go through a track map of Monza for you today. So, I'm sure that a track map will come up on the screen hopefully soon, but I'll
It
quickly
is
just
up.
go over it. So, rundown is turn 1. It's a very, very tight turn 1. Potentially could be a lot of collisions there, hopefully not. Very tight chicane up into Curva Grande, right-hander. Very fast, very quick. All the way down into Della Roger, another tight chicane. All the way up into turn 4 of the Lesmo, into turn 5, onto the second DRS straight of Del Sergillo, up into quick turn 7 Ascari, all the way into the back straight, very high speeds, down to the Parabolica, quick right-hander, all the way back to finish a lap, and you're onto the DRS again there. So that is a track map of Monza. So we're in the lobby here into qualifying. So Master, just give me your thoughts. How are you feeling for the race? Who do you think is going to be on top?
Well, this is actually a very close field. So far in the drivers, there's 3 at the top who are all tied on points. So I don't really know. My prediction, I'll go with... who's in the lobby? I'll go with Maka. He had a real good performance in T1 2 days ago, so I think if he can replicate that, he'll be up there.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely going to be a really close battle, and Maka is definitely up there as a contender. Just going to quickly turn the volume down here a second. So we are on board with Kev the Slice here in the Alpha Tower. Obviously, you're 2 drivers, Master Like, so you're hoping for a good result for today's race.
Yeah, of course.
So he's just warming up his tyres here to get some heat into them as he goes onto his first hot lap. Luckily we are back in the team cars now after that bug was fixed where we were in the F1 World Cars, but we are back now, so it's nice to see all these liveries back in shape again, all the teams back.
Yeah.
As I think Brodo is actually starting laps if you want to go through Master Strike, maybe a lap with Brodo.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's just straight, is full throttle. You want to stay as close to the inside here as possible, reduce the track, reduce the amount you travel. Coming into here is 8th gear, revving it out. Come down to 3rd, the curbs are very tricky. Ideally you don't want to touch the grass. Coming into here in 7th, come down to 6th or 5th, personal preference. Coming into here in 7th, come down to 5th. You want to use all the track possible. DRS is enabled here, and it's just another straight Monza, Temple of Speed for a reason. Here, come down to 6th. Flat out through here in 22, you had to lift off a bit, otherwise you'd be going into the wall. Coming down straight, coming into Parabolica, tighter on the way in than you think, but then it opens up later on. Coming down and just trying to again throttle as quick as possible, trying to reduce the distance to the line, and Brodo sets the initial lap of 25.
Yeah,
decent lap for him.
It is a very decent lap actually. It's quite a good banker, I think. Just seeing who else is coming across the line is Kev the Slice or Duris just set a faster time with the 1:20.0. The decent banker lap from him as Kev the Slice comes around the parabolic and, as you said, flat out trying to maximise the track. And he comes across the line and he now beats that time with a 1:19.9.
And he comes first sub 20 of the session.
Yeah, we should hopefully see a good couple of times in the sub 120s, hopefully. Right on board with Maka here, as he's about to come to the line now as well. In the Alfa Romeo. And he puts it just behind Kev, 0.08 of a second behind.
8,000.
Yeah, it was really close there. A couple of yellow sectors, just the driver slowing down. But as he said now, in Ascari, you can kind of really go full throttle. You don't actually have to lift on this year's game. So naturally that will make the times a little bit faster than last year's. As a tier 1 driver myself, I've always found Monza a really good track.
Alfie, I'm on board with Alfie here. He seems to be on a lap coming in the last straight. He's getting a tow from, is that his teammate? Yeah. Teammates towing each other.
Yeah, great team play there. That must be worth quite a bit of
time.
Oh, he retired. Durus retired.
As Alfie goes 21, P4, his teammate retired.
I think he was trying to give him such a tow that he just went into the wall. Maybe wasn't looking, but that's unfortunate for Red Bull. That's definitely a big blow so early on in qualifying, but he is in P3, so I don't know how far he'll drop down, but...
With the track evolution in the same, I definitely think he may drop a few positions.
Yeah, for sure.
As it stands with Red Bull 3-4. I'm loving this right now. Kev provisional pole.
Yeah, you're dead excited.
He is my driver, of course. Yeah.
Here you're gonna ride on board with. We'll ride on board with the Aston Martin of Slowy Red here. Such a tight turn 1 here. You have to be really careful not to get too much curb. But he seems to have taken it well.
He seems to have gone a little deep.
Yeah, he did go a little bit deep. .26.4 in the first sector. Into the Lesmos of turn 4 and 5.
Seems like a lot.
He sets the purple sector too, actually. Does Slowy Red. So we can put this Aston Martin. Into Parabolica. Tight entry, wide exit. Maximising a lot of the track there, love to see that. Shortest run down to the line, and he puts it in P6 with a 1:20.4.
A lot of people, seems like the last people who didn't go for the first one are out now. So let's see what these guys can do with the track evolution now being better than before.
I think we're on board with Jay Wanda here, but I think he's running low on fuel, is he?
Yeah. This is in lap. Or no, I don't know.
He was on lap, I believe.
He's low on fuel. He looked.
Yeah. I think he was on lap, but he just
backed out of it.
Fuel towards the end, yeah.
Enterprise seems to be on a lap coming out of Ascari. Had a decent line through there. Used a little bit too much curve, but it's fine. Still seems to have a decent run coming to Parabolica.
It's in P11.
It was P11.
We'll try and get a full lap
We're
here, so we can try and ride on board to see who's about to start a lap. Maybe we can ride on board with Good as Bacon, as I believe he's about to start a lap. If you want to take us through this, maybe, Master Strike.
Yeah, okay. So, has these good exits to just try and carry as much speed as possible, again, as fast as possible. DRS enabled, coming down this long straight and revving out the engine. You hate that sound, but coming down here, you go into second or third, second for rotation, shift up to third. As you can see, he has a low moment on the exit. Still seems to have gotten a decent one. Stick to the very inside here. The more inside the better. And he's barely improved his first sector. Coming into here, we're going to be into third or fourth. Fourth reduces traction a little bit, but it's more stable. Coming into here, come down to fifth. It's close to the inside, but you don't want to hit the inside curb. Same thing for here, but you want to use that inside. You want to use as much curb as possible. Enable DRS here. Just go down the straight. Minimize turning the wheel too much. Coming into Ascari. Into fifth. Just careful on the throttle in that first part. Full throttle throughout the next. Coming down the second straight. A lot of straights in Monza. Revving at the engine, coming down, you want to be as much on the inside as possible. It's very tight, but then the exit opens up, you can get full throttle as quick as possible down the line, and it's P15, 21.1.
Yeah, I think he didn't improve much on that lap. He is on old tyres as well, but yeah, just don't think he got to improve there. But that was a nice little onboard with there, so thank you for that. As I think a lot more drivers are now just...
Jay Wonder seems to be on his lap now.
Jay Wander, my brother. Down to turn one, very tight entry. Got to get a good exit. In the Alpine. So we can put this. See what a sector 1 is going to be like. As it is purple sector 1. So we can put this up. He's a decently quick driver, to be fair to Jay Wonder. He's definitely, I think, in contention for potentially... Oh, he spun it!
Oh, and he spun.
He spun it coming out of
Wasn't a good lap.
That's really unfortunate for him. Yeah, he should be able to charge up that battery now and hopefully do a second run. Oh, he's got red fuel. Not too sure if he'll be able to, but...
If he comes in now, he should have time for a second run later. But it will be more like a one-shot quali for him. Pressure on him. From then.
As we're on board with my driver, so gotta see this. Adam's in P5 currently, but he is about a tenth and a half up. Which would put him... would put him into P4.
Close. P3.
Oh no! He goes
pole.
fastest. He drops the pole on us with a 1:19.7, which is 0.2 faster than P2. Let's see what Kev the Slice can respond to this, as he's now warming up a lap, but we are on board with Maka here. He's also in red fuel, so I think he's... As he invalidates. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
Pitting in. Oh.
Yeah, it should be an in-lap, but he's on low fuel as well.
So invalidated. Not sure if he's on his outlet or not. I think everyone seems to be in the...
Yeah, your microphone's having a little bit of glitchiness there, but that's alright, I think I know what you meant. But we are on board with Kev. That revving sound of the engine, the engine's really not liking that into turn 1. This is a very important lap for Kev, as he might not have enough time or to go in sector as he's about to finish sector 1, and it's 3200s up. into the Lesmos of turn 4 and turn 5. Make sure to maximise the track, get as much curb here as you possibly can, which he does. DRS wide open. All the way down to Scary. Under the bridge. As he sets a purple sector 2, as I believe Master Strike has disconnected from the call. Kev seems to have backed out there. Not too sure why. And we'll hopefully try and get Master Strike back in as soon as we can. But for the moment, I think we're just going to stay on board with Kev here as Lowy Red is on a lap, I believe. He is on a lap into Scary, and he's 20 hundreds up, I believe. Into Parabolica he goes. Gets a nice entry and a very nice exit, maximising the track. Closest one down to the line, he's put it in P3, he's on the podium with a 1... didn't manage to see that time there. With a 1:19.9, only 5 thousandths of a tenth off P2 of Kev. As Pimpula, the homeboy of Ferrari, with their home race, so hopefully they'd be wanting to do well at this particular race. Into the Lesmos he goes. Takes it quite nice, a little wide there, but as he's invalidated. And Master Strike, I believe you're back. A little bit of technical difficulties, but... Are you there, Master Strike?
Yeah, I disconnected.
Yeah, no worries. As you can take us through Kev's lap. I think Kev's best start a lap. Yeah. Starting a lap now, so maybe you can take us through this, and will he be able to take pole off Atom?
Let's see. Coming down the straight, just enable DRS. Engine revving is a real ugly sound, but it's a lot more common in this game.
It is very ugly.
Down second, hit the curbs. You want to avoid this outside curb here though. Up into third for traction. Yeah.
I think you're having a bit more... It's very hard to hear you, Master Strike, but I'll just take over.
As much curb as possible without sitting off.
I think he's backed out. Yeah, he's backed out. He's going to do another lap.
Is it...
It's still a little bit hard to hear you. Cut out a little bit. But we are on board with Maka. He's about to come to the line. He's 2 tenths up on his time. Where can he put this? He puts it on pole with a 1:19.6. 2 tenths up on Adam. That's a great lap from Maka, and I'm sure the team principal will be very happy with that result. But will he be able to keep it on pole, as Kev is now going to come into the pit lane? Because he's low on fuel. No, he's stays out as he's crossed the line now, and that's it for Kev. He's in P3 unless somebody can take it off him. Slowly Red is coming as we're on board now with Adam into the Lesmos. Not too sure if he's up on his time or not. We'll have to see when he finishes sector 2, as he's now on to the second DRS straight. DRS wide open, full throttle all the way down to Scary. Is he up on his time? He's not, but he's down by about half a tenth. Can he make it all up here though? Got a good exit there. As Jay Wonder puts it on pole by 2 tenths with a 19.4. What a result! Where's Kev gone? Oh, Kev's all the way down in P6. Steel Sneeze puts it in P5. Mac in P, or he's it's all chaos here, lads. As Adam did go faster and he puts it in P3, just under a tenth. Who else to come across the line? I think that's it.
Yeah,
Pimpula.
that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of qualifying.
No one else is on the lap.
So there is your top. Well, there's your top 10. You've obviously got Jay Wander on pole. Really quite surprising result from Jay Wander there. He's going to be dead happy with that as he takes it away from Maka in P2. Adam in the Mercedes P3. Brodo NL P4. Steel Sneezed P5. Kev, or it's just gone away from me there, but we can get back to it. No worries.
Have P6 with the time he had from his first run.
True, yeah. So there is your qualifying results, everyone. Jay Wander in the Alpine P1, Maka in P2 in the Alfa Romeo, Adam in Mercedes in P3, Brodo P4, Steel Sneeze P5, Kev P6, Slowy Red P7, Alfie in the Red Bull P8, just in front of the other Red Bull of Duras in P9, Camilos in the McLaren P10, TZ in the AlphaTauri P11, Pimpula and Augag 12 in P13, P14, Good as Bacon in the Williams P14, Securso as a reserve in the P15, Rebel Chaz 69 in P16, Enterprise 17, and to finish off the grid, we have Copcoin and Mercedes in P18. Well, that was an exciting qualifying to finish it off there, don't you think?
Yeah. Jay Wonder coming from nowhere with no run before. He had no lap. Dead
Crazy.
last.
I did say he was a contender, but I didn't know he was going to go for pole, but he's whipped out an absolute miracle of a lap there. So I'm really excited now to see how this turns down to turn 1. Hopefully there's no carnage. But yeah, Monza, it's happened before in IRL F1. It can be a bit daunting down there in turn 1, but we'll just have to see how these drivers take it as we're now just waiting for the grid to form. Just for your information, there is no formation lap currently, as there is a bug with formation lap and it can disqualify you from the race if you have a bad grid spot. So formation lap is off, so the drivers will be starting from the line with no formation lap.
As I think the race is about to start.
Yep, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for round 3 of Tier 1. Jay Warner gets a good start. Broda's up into P3. Adam drops down to P4. See if there's any carnage towards the back. Kev Slice is up into P4. Oh, a little bit of... Oh, Brodo's around. Jay Wander's off the track. Brodo's back on the track now. Brodo gets a penalty. As Jay Wander is now...
Steel Sneeze... I'm pretty sure Steel Sneeze completely missed his braking and went right into the back of the guys in front. And that's unfortunate for everyone involved in that.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It was a bit carnage. I'm just trying to see. Steel Sneeze wasn't P5, he's now in P18. He's not going to be happy with that. Copcoin up into P12. As there's a little bit of carnage at the back. Duras has made a great start up here in from P5. I'm just gonna maybe we can get up the tire changes to see what people's tires have chose. There's a bit of a mix here, as most runners in the top 10 are on the mediums, a couple on the hards. Rebel, Chaza, Copcoin, and Og are on the softs. So we're on board with TZ here, trying to make a move on Slowy Red. A little bit of carnage, but wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Adam has dropped down to P7 actually. Ooh, he had to go into the runoff there, or else he's going to back up both Red Bulls.
And he got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. He didn't take it slow enough.
I think he also reset the track as well, so that could potentially be a penalty coming his way.
Not the best start for him.
Definitely not, no. He's not going to be very happy with that, but Both Red Bulls have made a great charge here. In P6 and P7
Yeah,
from
and
P8 and P9.
It seems like J1 has broken the 1 second gap to Maka as well. Keep in mind Maka is on the hards. And J1 was on mediums. So there will be that initial pace advantage.
As Alfie gets past Duras. Maybe a little bit of team. Although they're having a little bit of a scrap here. But Adam is now gone down the outside of
Trying to make the move
Duras.
back.
He might make a double move here on the Red Bulls.
Double move.
He's making
Down
a
the
double
inside.
move. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Adam and Alfie.
Contact. And now it's a straight line contest.
Yeah, drag race
Between the
down
two.
to turn 1. Who is
And
going to be
they're
the
still side
first
by
to
side.
break? It's going to be Alfie, I think, although he's trying to stick around the outside, but Alfie ultimately has the position there. While that was happening, Brodo got past Maka in P2, but Maka will be trying to fight this one back.
He backs out.
Yeah, he backs out.
Smart move. You don't be going side by side here.
Adams
never
now
as
making...
well.
Oh, Adams round! Ooh, there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on here now.
Between the Red Bulls and the Merc. Kind of
Yeah,
realistic to your life.
Other bit contact as we're on board the Rebel. Chaza just watching this, being a spectator really here, picking up the pieces.
And with all this battling, Alfie seems to have lost 3 seconds to the pack ahead. And J1, the fair play to him, he's already 2.5 seconds ahead of the next cars as well. So it seems that the gaps are beginning to form.
Massive scrap going on here for P9 and P8 and P7. Oh, not a bit of argy-bargy there, bumping tyres.
And Max is going back for P2 and Bordeaux.
Yeah, look
And he
at
gets
that
the move
lovely
done
move.
before the chicane.
Will Brodo fight this one back? Into...
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think he's too far back on this occasion.
DRS wasn't able to last lap though, so we should be able to get DRS and try and get past him.
He's out
You
up
know
in the
how
P8.
powerful DRS is.
Yeah, for sure. DRS is really powerful on this track, especially with the 2 DRS zones. Obviously you have Slipstream as well in this game, which is also really powerful as well. Maybe we can go to the
Also,
position
seems like
changes. We're going to say,
The
sorry,
top two
Master.
seem to be the same. Bordeaux seems to have a 5-second penalty. I don't know how he got that in all the chaos. Maybe when whatever happened in the start, maybe he got it from that. But that will definitely hinder him for the race. He'll have to serve in his pit stop.
So your biggest gainer here actually really is Rebel Chaza, up 7 positions. He's now in P9, he's having a great little race he is. His Brodo's going to send one down the inside of Maka. Into turn 1. And he gets the move
it done.
Lovely stuff.
As TZ and Rebel are going side by side. A little bit of contact. TZ gets on the grass. Was it 3 wide? I think it might have been. TZ got pushed to the grass, lost 3 positions. But the Alpine and Alpha are still going side by side. Alpha gets it in the end.
Just trying to think about what happened to Coppercoin here. He's way down the field. 24 seconds to P17. Maybe he pit or he spun. Not sure, but he needs to now get the head down really and just focus on getting in some good laps.
Coppercoin has a pit stop, so he stopped early, possibly from damage.
Potentially. Might have had a bit of contact from T1, turn 1. Not too sure what happened there. We'll have to try and review that after the race. Hopefully we'll get a response. We will have some interviews after the race as well, so hopefully he can join and explain the situation. as we're on board with the Alfa Romeo here, can try and make a move on Slowy Red. He is very low on ERS compared to Slowy Red, but Slowy Red does not have DRS. DRS, oh my goodness! DRS and Adam have spun each other out. Adam's gotten another 5-second penalty as he's out. He's retired from the session on the track. That will possibly be another penalty coming their way. I don't know if that's going to be a safety car or not.
Did he retire because he had enough, or did he crash out?
I think he retired. He was done. I don't think he was. I think it might have been a bit of rage there potentially, which is not great. But we are now on board with TZ and Zircurso, and Zircurso will have DRS. Will he be able to make the move before Ascari? He's going to go for it.
And I think he gets it before, he gets it on the straight. Clean move.
Yeah. Lovely move from Zircurso there.
He's looking to the run. He goes for it down the inside. He backs out.
Yeah, wait till the
DRS.
DRS.
To get the DRS.
Do you think there's going to be rain in this race, Master Strike? It is looking very cloudy out there.
I'm pretty sure there is a percentage chance of rain. Weather is on dynamic. So we'll see. I'm not so sure. It could just be overcast the whole race.
Essentially, it would shape everything up a little bit differently, and we could be seeing a change for P1. But as we're speaking about P1, Jay Wander has just gapped. He's nearly 4.5 seconds up on Maka and Brodo, and Kev the Slice has actually been really invited back into this fight because Brodo and Maka have just been getting each other's DRS and battling it out. So Kev the Slice is definitely in for a chance of a good position here.
Yeah, he's just been watching. Oh, and he goes wide.
Yeah, he hit the grass there a little bit. Ooh, Alfie had a bit of a slide there, managed to catch it. As we're now on board with the Ferrari in P11. Trying to make a good impression for the team principal, I'm sure, for the home race. Deal Sneeze gets a 3-second time penalty.
First track limits of the session. Monza isn't easy to keep off. I mean, Monza depends on your driving style. If you like to go all the way to the edge of the track, it is possible to get penalties here.
Yeah, for sure. We probably will be seeing a lot more penalties as the later laps come in for sure. But the Ferrari of Agog is in the DRS. He's got great slipstream on those soft compound tires. He's going to make the move into turn 1. He's definitely going to go for it as they're going side by side. A little bit of argument there on the grass as Enterprise just made an absolute whopper of a move there down the inside of both of them there. That was a lovely move from the Aston Martin of Enterprise 64, up 7 positions from P17 to P10. Oh, is there a little bit? Who's spun? Maka's round! The front wing's gone!
I think they made contact.
And there's a virtual safety car. We were so caught up in a battle of Enterprise that we didn't get to see that live. I'm not too sure what happened there. But Maka has no front wing, so he's going to be pitting this lap.
I'm pretty sure Brodo and Maka may have had some sort of contact with each other. Because Brodo seems to have lost quite a bit of time to J1. Or maybe that's just because J1 just gone crazy quick. But the VSC has ended already.
Yeah, and DRS is back enabled. Actually, in fact, the pack from P5 really to P12 is so close together, so Maka's in the pit lane. Gonna probably put on a new set of, I would assume he'd be going to mediums and a new front wing.
He goes onto the mediums, yeah.
Yeah.
You think the mediums can get to the end here?
It's hard to tell, isn't it, really? I would think so. It would be a bit of a push. Your tires would be fried by the end of it, but wouldn't be
Definitely
ideal. Definitely possible. Wouldn't be ideal, but there could be a safety car let's just have a look at. We're on board with good as bacon here. Up 6 positions from P14, if my maths is serving me well.
Yeah. The main winner is Rebel Chaza. He's just stayed out of trouble, it seems, and he's kept on making up positions. Up 9 now.
Yeah, he's a great. He's been in Matt Williams for a couple of seasons now, actually, I believe. And oh, TZ frame.
TZ.
No. Oh, he's got no wing. Oh, you're not happy with that, are you?
No.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. He will have to pit now, and we'll be gone with the mediums, and the new front wing will be in place for the Alpha Tauri. Who are we going to go on board with? Yeah, I mean, you're right. Rebel Chaz is now in P6, up 10 positions. He's having a very lovely race in that Alpine. Oh, TZ gets a
TZ.
penalty for speeding.
It's going from bad to worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I do it many times in races as well. It's very hard sometimes to judge that correctly.
Especially without the front wing. It kind of like, it's weird just braking with the front wing.
Yeah.
Braking performance weakened.
Certainly right there. As Kev is now in the DRS of Brodo. He's gaining. Not going to go for the move here, but he is gaining. Into Scary. He will get the better line, as it was definitely Brodo in this instance, as Kev is into the gravel a little bit there, touching tires in the gravel.
So Brodo also still has that 5-second penalty, and I don't think he can really get removed because he has to pit still.
Yeah, so Kev should just take this easy, although he should be getting the move done here as he's gaining with DRS. A little bit of trying to get out the DRS there from Brodo, but yeah. Cruises past, up in the P2, Kev the slice. Lovely move.
Keeps it defensive. And the second and third seem to have gapped Alfie by 8 seconds. And J1 just gapped second and third by 6 seconds. So it seems like Kev the Slice and Brodo are just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they're the only ones beside each other. Hopefully Brodo can keep up in that DRS to still gap Alfie, but Alfie's on the charge, I think. As Durus has the fastest time with a 1:22.8 on the hard compound tires.
I think he pit.
Yeah.
So the smooth tires are powerful.
Not the race I think Durus wanted, but he has to make the most of it now.
Just try and get back into the points, avoid carnage. You don't really know what happens in these races.
Yeah, for sure, anything can happen. Still very cloudy out there, but I think rain could be a factor, but we'll just have to wait until see. We usually, with these tier 2 races, rain only comes towards the very end, because that's just how the luck is. So we'll see if it comes any earlier, but Brodo is gaining to Kev, but
he was too far back.
He was too far back. We'll get a good
Kev
exit.
this now, I think he has the pace. Crucial part of his race. He has to get out of the DRS and possibly try and catch up to J1 though. Because he seems to have the pace on Brodo at this time.
As
Maka
is the fastest lap, 22.
on those mediums. And more people seem to be pitting. Rebel Chaz's pit from P6 comes back down to P12. In fact, Doris is actually close. So that could possibly mean Doris could be back in the fight for those points. If he's already pit, which I think he has. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
So if Rebel Chaz has come out here, then he could be in the fight for points again. This TZ has gone into the softs actually. He'll have to make another pit stop.
Do you think that was a purpose? Do you think that was his choice, or that was a little mistake there on the strategy?
Maybe he was going for fastest lap, otherwise I think that may have been a little bit of a mistake. because another stop and already being so far back with that low spin and yeah, Kevin Bordeaux both seem to come in at the same time.
Lane,
Bordeaux
Sorry Red is
7,
in, Good as Bacon is in, as Enterprise is now in P3, Zacurso is now in P4 from P11, but they still have to pit.
Unfortunately for Bordeaux, he had to serve his 5-second time penalty, so he's lost time to Kev. Down to P8 now. And Mac has actually come out ahead of Bordeaux. So it seems like the undercut is just that powerful, but Macca's tires at the end will be dying off.
Brodo had that penalty as well to keep in mind.
Oh,
Alfie has retired from the race, and it is a safety car.
And that's amazing for J1 though. I mean, he would have been fast anyways, but he didn't pit, so now he gets to pit. Basically, everyone that stayed out before, it helps them.
This is interesting now. Alfie is going to be devastated with that, and Templos, who I believe is the team principal of Red Bull, will be human.
That also gives a chance to the guys who are further back, or the people who had to pit early, to pit again and be back in the race.
Thank you to everyone who has been in the live stream and been commenting. Really appreciate to see you all there. We are 17 viewers currently, which is really amazing, so I appreciate everyone for joining.
J1 has gone into the soft.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if that was a mistake or not. I will admit,
maybe he's
happened to me a couple of times when I tried to put on the wrong tyre. But maybe that's just the strategy he's chosen. Be interesting to see how that pays off for him.
Maybe his try is if he goes to the end, he will have the initial pace advantage. So if he pulls enough away, when his tyres do die, he'll have enough of a gap already to be able to still win. Or he's pitting again and doing another stop after this.
Maybe
those are the two only.
He thinks it might rain.
Oh.
So he's going to have a faster tyre.
Maybe that's
also... have to box anyway for inters, so... Yes, very interesting indeed.
If you go into the tyres, everyone's on new tyres now from this safety car. It's majority have gone into mediums, with few hard runners and only 2 people in softs. J1 first place and last place. Is the Cobra's Copper Coin?
Yep, that's Copper Coin, the Mercedes. Yeah. Not been a great day for Mercedes so far, but...
Copper Coin in last on the softs, and J1 doing first with the softs. I'm interested to see how the strategy goes.
For sure, for sure.
Even like TZ, who was on the softs with his previous stop, pit again and is now in the mediums. The mediums should be able to go to the end from here. So that's interesting.
Bit of contact there between the two Aston Martins into turn 1. I'm not too sure what's happening there. Very strange. Zacurso is up to P6 now with that, but he does have a penalty.
The Aston seem to be having a great time. P4 and P5, though, they keep on, like, very close to hitting each other constantly, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if there is an Aston Martin team principal, to be quite honest. But if there is, I say he's quaking in his boots now watching this. But they are up, like, Enterprise is up from P12 to P5, Slowy Red's up from P8 to P4, so they really want to try and not crash into each other and try and get some good points back for the team. We are very early in the championship, this is only round 3, so... You know, you need these points. You need these points to get those positions in those constructors. So, as safety car should be in this lap.
Or maybe not, because there are people still catching up to the queue. I mean, Copper Coin's the only one now. So, we'll see. Yep, safety cars and... Wait, is it? I don't think so. No, it's not.
No.
I think it's staying out for another lap.
Yeah, it's staying out, you're right.
Who do you think's going to win this race?
Well, it's hard to tell. I would have said Jay Wander if he had gone on to a hard compound, but now with the strategy, it's impossible to know. I think, to be honest, the top three, Jay Wander, Kevin Slice and Broad, are all in for a chance of winning this race. But as I said, there might be rain, there might be another safety car, so...
That's odd, okay. For a second I thought Kev crashed into Jay Wonder.
Copper Coin gets a 5-second penalty for having a collision with TZ. Not too sure what happened there.
Sometimes on the safety car, if you slightly tap another car, you do get a penalty. So maybe there are definitely penalties to be handed out and removed after with the stewards.
Yeah, for sure.
So you
it's
never
gonna be
know these final results.
It's going to be a great field day in the FIA channel after this race. There might be some penalties that are... Ooh, Brodo. I think you are right. Brodo and Kev are... A little bit of argy-bargy going on here between these two boys.
Even in the last race, they seemed to have a good fight until they made the pit stops. Then Kev told me later on he did get damaged. Lost 12 seconds to him over the course of 12 laps. And yeah, there you go, safety car on this lap.
So, Jay Warner will control the pace here. With the pit limiter you can take us through the restart if you'd like.
Yeah. Jay will want to try and surprise Kev. He is on the softs. He wants to pull away now. There is a chance of rain, I think, otherwise he wouldn't have gone onto the softs. So interesting how this track goes. If Kev can stay close enough to Jay Wonder, then then everyone behind is in a chance to win this race because his tires will die off. It's a matter of time of Kev's reaction time and when Jay Wonder goes. Stopping the field. And Jay Wonder's off. Kev has quite a decent reaction time. Only 1/10 behind. He's going for the move. Around the outside. And he gets pushed onto the grass. Oh, and he's off. And he gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And gets overtaken by Rodo. Not the best restart for Kev the Slice. That was questionable from J1 that doesn't leave the room. But he is in the lead now, so his goal will be trying to run away. Copper Coin seems to be in the pits. He was on the softs, he's gone into mediums now.
Yeah, not too sure what Copper Coin is doing. Maybe he put on the wrong tyres. Yeah, very questionable. Duras is up the inside of Rebel Chaza there. Lovely little move from Duras. He's trying to make up positions now. He's only one position down now. If he gets into P8, he's equal with his quality position.
They're going side by side still.
Ooh, Maka. Yeah. Maka and good as bit, they're both round. Oh, goodness. It's all a bit argy-bargy chaos here in Monza. Maka's had another incident where he's dropped him down to low positions. He's going to have a couple of penalties to serve, or he'll be wanting somebody else to serve a couple of penalties. As we're now on board with TZ. Getting a great slipstream off these two. Will he go for the double move here? On Duras and Pimpula. Three wide into turn one. Who's going to be the winner of this battle? And I believe it's TZ. TZ, my brother from the west, is making moves on Pimpula and Duras. There's a massive battle going on here. Cars left, right and centre. Rebel Chaz. Oh, TZ's glitched back and Pimpula's now in the lead. Rebel Chaz is going to send one down on TZ here into... Oh, as he has to back off here a little bit. Duras now will go into Lesmo and he'll try and get the run on Rebel Chaz. A little bit of argy-bargy there, but Duras will he be able to make the move into turn 5? Yes, he will.
There's a lot of contacts.
Yes, a lot of contacts.
Patience with these drivers seems to be running low. It's the last 9 laps of the race now.
I'm just, if you want to have a look, Matt Strike at Aston Martin, they're keeping up with Kevin Brodo here. They might be in for some very good points if they can keep it together.
And J1 just gaps Brodo by 3 seconds already. Seems to have the pace of the softs now, but maybe his tyres die off later.
Kev's got the slipstream. Will he be able to make the move proper this time? He's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Will he be able to make it stick? He's not been able to get them. Will he get a switchback on Brodo? Yes, stay behind just for now. But he could get a good run down into turn 3.
He's looking for it. He goes down. Brodo, I think, backed out of it. He didn't want the contact. So Kev up to P2, but Brodo goes for the switchback. And he actually gets it. What a beautiful move from him.
Yeah, lovely racing between these two guys, even though there's a little bit of contact on the restart, but I think they know each other's strengths and they're just trying to keep it clean from now on. Don't want to ruin the race for either of themselves. Slowy Red has now been invited into this battle, and so is Enterprise just behind. But Slowy Red's going to be
keeping up.
Safe here, I think, and just wait for the right move. He could get a double overtake if he can get a good run out of the Parabolica.
Yeah, we've seen that often where the two drivers seem to be fighting. When they go side by side, they don't have the slipstream of each other. And then the guy behind can get the slipstream and DRS.
Slowy Red's making a move on Brodo here. Oh, they crash into each other! As Slowy Red's down to the pit lane, gets 5-second penalty for speed, and Brodo's ran off into the pit lane. Absolute carnage, boys. God.
Brodo will be very disappointed with that. He was having such a good race.
Yeah, that's not ideal for either of those two. As Enterprise is now into P3, where he's chasing down Kev. Jay Wander's having a lovely little cruising time. Might have to step out for a little bit of coffee and cake, you never know. Kev is now up into P2 from P6. Enterprise up 14 positions. Pimpula P5.
Yeah, he's had a mad recovery drive.
Yeah,
His second loss at the beginning.
Quite good to see. A lovely bit of racing here.
But this like seems to be trying to pull a bit of a gap, but it's not enough to keep him off DRS.
As we have Phantom, the McLaren team principal, but will I have to interrupt myself? No, I won't. McLaren, the team principal, in the chat after just seeing that instant live, and he's not happy. So there could be some penalties definitely being given out after the race is over. Little three-way battle here for P4, including Pimpula, Duras, and TZ. TZ's actually made a little great recovery drive from, I think, the incident he had towards the start of the race, so it's lovely to see him back up.
Safe to power him back into it.
Keep up this form, he could be on for some good points, and Alpha Tauri will be getting some good points, and you'll be happy days, hopefully.
Enterprise gets past Kev the Slice. Kev the Slice nearly goes right into the back of him. He has to take avoiding action. And battle for fourth is getting very intense.
Duras definitely proving his worth at Red Bull, as he is on also another recovery drive. A lot of drivers seem to be on a recovery drive here, and they seem to be pulling it off.
Apart from J1, I think he's led every lap of the race and got pole, and I think he's fastest lap as well. He could get the Grand Slam.
Probably stay on those softs actually if it all stays well and good for him.
I think this was his plan, pull enough of a gap, and when his tyres do die off, he should be able to still maintain his lead. With Kevin Enterprise still battling, they'll lose more time. And I think Jay Wonder, if he keeps it together, he can win this race.
Let's see who's in a battle here. I think the closest battle is the trio. Yeah. As Duras will be now be getting DRS. DRS wide open in the slipstream. Is he going to go the outside or the inside? He's going to go on the outside.
TZ seems to be gaining. He goes for the double move.
He's through. TZ's going to go down the inside for the double move on Duras. Will he make it? The two sister teams going side by side. Duras gets a good exit. A little bit of a, they both had a little bit of a moment. Pimpula is now on the inside.
Down the inside.
A little bit of contact there from the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. As well as happening to Curso was spun. Brodo is now making his way back, but I think he had a little bit of a moment. Maka is now into the points paying positions in P10, trying to make his way back up. He's not going to be very happy after his results, but he's got to keep it together now. As we're going to go back on board with Pimpula here in the DRS of TZ.
I think they're just chilling behind each other for the main straight, because that's where all the moves seem to be happening.
Yeah, certainly.
Doris does have that penalty though, so he should be trying to gap these two behind, because he will end up behind them if he doesn't. And Steel Sneeze, from the beginning, he was dead last with his contact.
Sergeant even kept the Slife is going on the inside of Enterprise back into P2.
Yeah, seems with the DRS, these two keep on swapping faces every lap.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Steel Sneeze from all the battling seems to have joined the battle for the top fourth, and as is a four-way fight for P4. With a fourth team in it.
Yeah, this turns out then shaping to be a right scrap here between these four now. Obviously, as you mentioned, the Steel Sneeze is now invited into this battle. I think he should just stay behind for the moment, save up an ERS, and away he goes.
He does have a penalty though.
He does have a
also,
penalty.
TZ seems to be losing Doris. TZ is a T3 driver. It's miraculous he's actually keeping up with these guys. Props to him. And he gets a penalty.
Oh, you've commentated cursing him, lad. Oh. That's
Pimpula the only one in this fight now who doesn't have a penalty. I mean, he inherits P4 just by staying there.
Yeah, for sure, but does he know that with all the adrenaline he's probably experiencing right now?
Who knows? Only he knows. Publicized seems to have been able to stay ahead of Enterprise this lap, holding off a gap.
As no moves made on the straight there. Full stay.
DRS train.
Each other, yeah, seems to be.
No moves this lap. A lot of people with penalties as the race has gone on.
EZ's going to go on the outside. Oh, I think he backs off a little bit there. Duras on the late brakes. Of course, has to be in the Red Bull, the king of the late brakes. As there's a little bit of contact there between the Ferrari of Olgag and Rebel Chaza.
He seems to have made the move.
He made the move, but I don't know if he made it in a clean way, but they're both back now racing again, and he's going to have DRS here. Oh, a little bit of contact there between, I think TZ got past Duras, but there was a little bit of argy-bargy going on. Duras is going to have slipstream up into Parabolica. Will he make the move? He shouldn't, because he won't have DRS unless he can somehow... I think he's going to stay behind for the moment. I know he's going side by side into Parabolica, and he's around the outside of TZ.
TZ goes on the grass on the inside. And Steel Sneeze making... Oh!
TZ's out. I think there was a bit of a collision there between Maka, another collision. I think Maka's up in the P9 now. I'm not too sure what happened there, but
yeah, with TZ coming behind him.
Steel Sneeze is now to P5 where he started. Rebel Chaza is down the inside of Pimpula. I think Pimpula has damage. Does he know Pimpula doesn't have damage? Who's the driver that has
There's more yellow flags. No, never mind. He's not racing.
He's a spectator for a Red Bull.
Yeah. He left.
We might try and get him hopefully in for an interview after to talk with Duras and Alfie, but I don't think Alfie's going to be wanting to because I don't think he's very happy.
Enterprise seems to be getting close to getting Kev out of DRS. It still goes for a move on Doris.
He's up into P4. Lovely little move from Steel Sneeze there in that Williams.
He's had an amazing recovery drive from loss from lap 1.
Camilos, is he going to send it on the Ferrari there? Haven't seen much of Camilos this race, but he is in a point position, so...
Had a quiet race today. Just staying in the back of the field, staying out of trouble. He seems to be fighting for points again.
You want to take
also
this
seems
battle
to be
with
strong.
Doris and Steel Sneeze here?
Doris goes around the outside. Both braking late, still sees leaving no room for him. Doris backing out sensibly. He would have been off the track. Could have been a Verstappen-Hamilton moment in 2021 if he didn't back out. I
Don't want to see that, do we?
No. As TZ seems to be in the fight for P9 again. Unfortunate for him. But he can still score some points. As Jay Wonder's had an amazing race. He's made the softs last. I don't think there's going to be any rain. But he's been on the softs for 12 laps now and he's pulled 10-second gap. 2P2. What a race from him.
Yeah, certainly it's been a really intense race to watch as Jay Wonder has just started the last lap of the race, but Kev the Slice is going to go down the inside or on the outside of Enterprise and now up into P2. He doesn't have a penalty though, so Enterprise should just stay behind and just take that position freely.
Though if you remember when he got the penalty, it was because Jay Wonder actually pushed him off track, so if he can get that removed possibly,
That is
then that means
true.
Kev does keep P2.
That is true actually, so I don't know if Enterprise knows that though, and he might think that penalty's legit, so but he should still try and go for the move. Mackett in P8 trying to make a last lap move on Rebel Chazet, although Rebel Chazet does have a penalty as well, so...
I think
Well-
TZ's either just slowed down or had another moment, because he's now fallen back 2 seconds. He was having an amazing race recovery drive, unfortunate for him.
As Jay Wander will stay on board with him as he is going to come around Parabolica. The man from Alpine, I believe, is going to win his first race in FTR in Monza.
Taken out.
Kev the Slice is out. It's all
Enterprise.
Enterprise takes
Kev the
P2.
Slice.
Steel Sneeze in the Williams is in P3, but there's penalties to be served. We won't exactly know, but your winner, Jay Wander, has won in Monza. A lovely race from him. He kept it clean, no collisions really at all. Lovely race from him. Enterprise in P2. Ferrari on his home race, Pimpula P3. Steel Sneeze takes P4. Duras in the Red Bull P5. Maka had a little great recovery drive at the end there, up all the way into P6. Rebel Chaza P7, sorry. The other Ferrari still in the points, P8. Camilo's P9. TZ finishing off the points position in P10. Wow. Well,
I was watching the collision with Kev the Slice. Enterprise was going for the move into Parabolica. Kev the Slice covers the inside and they made contact, and Kev the Slice got spun around. Unfortunately for him, hit the wall.
yeah, what a race.
Yeah. A lot of drama, a lot of battling.
Certainly. We should be having hopefully some interviews, as Enterprise is your driver of the day. Tell me, Master Strike, who is your driver of the day for today's race?
I would go with Jay Wonder, even though he was leading. He got pole position, he led every lap of the race, and he got fastest lap and won the race by over 10 seconds, I think. So fair play to him, amazing drive.
Was a
Took
great
the win.
drive. I am going to give my driver of the day to. I'm going to have to give it to Enterprise, I think. P17 to P2.
Second lost to second.
Exactly.
Forgot about him.
It was a great drive from Enterprise there, so congrats to him. Congrats to you, Enterprise, if you're listening here today in the chat. Carlson in the Twitch chat is delighted Jay Wander won. Lovely to see as we have some people waiting in the interview room. We're just going to go through the race director here and make sure we get all the details we need for the standings. But yeah, wow, that was something.
Me personally, I don't know about you, but I'm very disappointed. Kev the Slice was running P2, probably would have ended P3, but he DNF'd on the last lap. Very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's not been the greatest race for your team, Alfa Romeo. You get 1 point as a team for your constructors with TZ in P10, but yeah, it's certainly not. Maybe you'll have to go back to the drawing board there and discuss that collision. As I think, if it's okay, we're gonna pull in. I think we'll pull in your race winner of Jay Wander in the Alpine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello, Jay Wander. You are a race winner at Monza. Just talk me through your race. How do you think it went?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about. I just drove my heart out, as you say.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great race from you, and you are Master Strike's driver of the day.
Oh, nice.
Any questions, Master Strike?
What did you think of your pace that race?
I mean,
how did you control it?
In the qualification, I actually failed 2 times, so I only had 1 lap on me. But it worked out. So, I mean, what can you say? Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes it's skill.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great race from you. You obviously kept it. Obviously, as you said, you had a little bit of non-laps in qualifying, but you put it on pole. Personally, I was very shocked when I seen Jay Warner come up on the screen. In fact, I actually screamed when I saw your name. Yeah. So that's another race done. Now you have 2 Italian races in a row. Imola open next week. How do you think you're going to fare around there if you are reserving?
Imola, I don't like the track that much, but I will do my best. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for coming on today, and I hope you can go enjoy that win. Thanks for joining us today. So I think we're gonna get. I think we'll get Kev the Slice in next. Talk about his little incident. Kevin, oh dearie me. Talk me through what happened there at the end.
I'm gutted. I was going on the straight. I went to cover him off on the inside, and then I'm looking through the clip now. I don't even know what happened, but I don't know if he went on the grass or I don't know. But I got taken out, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it was not the ideal race for you. Obviously, Master Strike was commentating today, and he is the AlphaTauri team principal. And I tell you, he was not happy when he saw the collision. It was for sure not great, and there might potentially be some penalties coming. But other than the incident, how did you find the race?
It was an amazing race, if I'm honest with you. When I was going to cross the line, I was going to get that 3-second penalty removed because I got gently forced off on the restart and I went straight on and I lost my position. Well, I lost 8 positions, sorry. But yeah, the safety car went well because I boxed the lap before. Yeah, I was sat behind Brodo and Maka, just harvesting my ERS and just using the DRS to stay with him. So I don't even know what to say, man. I was gonna get second, if not definitely third. I was in the podium the whole entire race, and then just to get taken out like that,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sure you're good at it. Apart from that, it was a fantastic race for you, and of course you were battling with Brodo again, and he seems to be
Yeah.
really close with you. So it was really nice to see you two going up together again. Matt Strike, do you have any questions for your driver?
No, not really. We got all the info we need.
Well, I'm sure you'll be going back to the drawing board with that one, and for sure penalties will be coming a certain person's way. But
I will be begging the likes of Husky, Templos, and Alex to maybe give a consolation points, but I know that won't happen anyway. But it's just so frustrating. I've spent like an hour and a quarter doing this, trying to get good points for the team as well. Then I just get taken out. I've just looked at the replay. I move over, and then he tries to go to the left, and then he hits my rear. So
yeah, certainly it was not ideal for you, and you'll be wanting to bounce back. Just quickly, obviously Monza's down. You might want to forget that race, but next week is Imola. Just give me your thoughts on that track.
I hate the curbs. That's all I gotta say. Like I'm gonna get like a 20-second time penalty. I already know. But yeah, it's not a bad track. It's just track limits and that awful chicane in the third sector is going to be a bit tricky as well. But yeah, hopefully I don't get taken out again on the last lap. So because it's been 3 out of the last 7 races, I've DNF'd on the last lap for someone else. So I'm just sick of it, to be honest with you.
I completely know what you're feeling from many races last season of mine. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I hope that we can talk to you next weekend and you're in a lot of better mood, and just really appreciate you coming here.
I forgot I'm on holiday next week, so I won't be able to do Imola.
Well,
or the week after that, whatever race it is. I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, so.
Well, the next track then is Shanghai, so China. Do you have any good around there?
Well, yeah, I scored points there last season, so I don't find it a bad track. I think it's unique in its own ways, but hopefully we can do something good on there and not get taken out on the last lap again.
Yeah, well, for sure, we will be really happy to hear you, and I hope you enjoy your holiday, and thanks for joining us today.
Cheers, thank you very much.
See you. Who are we going to get in next here? I think we'll get in Durus. Durus.
Hello.
How are you? Just talk me through your race.
It was a comeback.
Yeah.
After some lap, I was last, or almost last. Only one driver was behind me. I was fighting through the field at some point. I overtook a lot due to pit stops, but after the safety car, I really had to fight sometimes to get the positions done. Sadly, I also got some time penalties, but nothing to do. Still P5. I wasn't expecting that here in Monza. Monza is a terrible track for me. Plus, knowing that I was almost lost at the beginning, it was, it's a good feeling to be P5 after such a comeback. Also after that terrible qualifying.
Yeah. It was a bit of a mixed emotions race for Red Bull, I think. Obviously, your teammate Alfie crashed in P4 and he brought out a safety car.
He lost his car.
You had a great start from P8. I think you got up about 4 positions in P5, I believe, or P4,
yes.
somewhere up
P5.
there. And then you obviously had your spin, and then you actually had a great recovery drive. And I was saying to Master Strike, we were seeing a lot of drivers having really good recovery drives, and you were definitely up there as one of them. So I have to give you kudos on that. Master Strike, do you have any questions for Durus?
What do you think you can do over the course of the season?
Oh, it's. I think I'm not the best driver for this season. The calendar is really doesn't really suit me. The next 3 races are going to be a headache for me. I hate all 3 of them: Paul Ricard, Shanghai, and Imola. Then we have some races. Vegas is okay, I guess. Bahrain is okay. Then we have Qatar, which is just not made for F1. Jeddah, not really a bad track. Miami, I actually really like Miami. Could be one track where I'm pretty good. And Interlagos it's Brazil. Everyone loves that. So I think I can aim for a top 10 at least in the drivers. I guess I would be happy if I managed to get into the top 5.
Yeah, well, I suppose obviously it wasn't your race, but you still did take back 10 points for Red Bull, which, as I said, was a great recovery drive, and points is points, so I'm sure 10 Plus will be happy with that result. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming out here tonight, Doris, and talking to us, and thank you for joining us. See you next week, hopefully.
Just one quick question for you two, Master Strike and Set, driver of the day.
Master Strike was Jay Wander, and mine was Enterprise.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
See you later, lads. Right, finally we have Brodo in the McLaren. Brodo, my brother, talk me through your race.
Let's start with qualification. I was so happy after my last round that I ended up P4, I believe. I hate Monza. I'm not good at it. So I was also very happy that I was able to stick with Kev and Mecca for the podium places. I had a phenomenal start, but in the first corner I got hit from behind. So I only had one option, and that was to take the little runoff. But the game didn't agree with me, so probably removed. So I hope that. And then when the race went on, I got hit from behind with Slowy Red in the Aston Martin. We went side by side in the last corner, and I gave him enough space, but he just turned into me. So we both crashed, and yeah, that's all I have to say about my race.
Yeah, obviously one thing that myself and Master Strike noticed is you and, as you've said, you and Kev were fighting again. It always seems to be you two up there fighting for kind of P2, P3, P4 area, so it's really good to see you two, and I think that there's a little bit of respect between you two because you're both quite up there and you're both kind of willing to give the space, but obviously there was a lot of incidents that race, so penalties will be removed and given. Master Strike, do you have any questions for Boda?
What do you think you could do over the season? I know you after this race you are a title challenger. You after winning. No, actually, sorry, you didn't win a race, but you are.
No.
Yeah, you didn't win a race. No, but you are up there. So where do you think you can? How do you think you can do over the course of the season?
That's hard to say because when I take a look at last season, I was up there as well. But when the season goes on, it just wouldn't get better. And when I had a little bit of luck, something like this happened. So it's hard to say, especially so early in the season. But for sure, I will try my best to end up as high as possible for the team, of course.
Yeah, for sure. It was a mixed emotions race for everyone. I hope to see you up here next week when we're in Imola. Thank you very much for joining, bro. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a nice evening.
You too. So, I think that's us done and dusted for today, as there is no more interviews. Yeah, Matt Strike, thanks for joining today. It's been great to have you, and hopefully we can have you next week. And see you everyone in the stream.